All right, to continue where I left off because Liam accidentally cut the video and deleted it. Yeah, basically Europe doesn't need the money anymore. Their need's gone. If anything, but now they're the countries that actually give to the other nations. So that's why it developed into supporting nations that are in similar situations as Europe was back then, whether or not that was from war or just because they're in progress to becoming a first world country. So it serves as a supplement to other bank loans they can get. And and also the benefit of having the IBRD step in is you get the policy advice, the research, and the analysis support that really helps these developing nations implement their construction and educational policies in the best way possible to support them. This leads into the International Development Association. This is not dealing with countries in a shitstorm like the IMF is. It's dealing with countries that are just generally extremely poor. So that's why they give interest-free loans, or they give away money basically as a grant. Again, it's not necessarily that it comes without conditions. In this case, the the IDA really gets to step in. They help you with your policy. They give you the tools needed to actually, again, like the IBRD, implement it properly. You can really think of these as the same, the only difference being that the IDA is really oriented towards the poor nations. They both kind of act in the same way. Just one is a little bit more oriented towards helping the poorest of countries. Then you have the International Finance Corporation, and this serves as the division between the World Bank and the World Bank Group. What you need to remember is the World Bank Group is really, the World Bank is really oriented around governments. It's giving money to governments, helping governments. Once you include the World Bank Group, so the other three organizations are regarding foreign individuals and businesses investing in developing nations. So the International Finance Corporation, IFC, they provide loans, equity buyouts, technical assistance to private individuals and businesses that are seeking to invest in a poor nation. The reason for this is, let's take something like Deutsche Bank or ING. While they may have policies where they help a little bit with foreign nations, developing nations, they really don't have a profitability reason to actually give money to somebody who wants to invest in these nations. And still, even though it might be cheap to invest in these nations, people still need money to actually do so. So because the World Bank wants to reduce worldwide poverty, they're willing to step in and give the loans required for businesses and individuals to start up shop in these developing nations. The Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, I had to think about that, guarantees against losses caused by non-commercial risk, aka systematic risk, for private individuals and businesses who do business in a poor country. And the reason for this is let's say the United States happens to go through a situation where the leadership is not ideal. At the end of the day, your business is probably not going to fail or succeed. It might be hurt, but the success or failure of it really won't be determined by who the president of the United States is. The changes can't be that dramatic due to the stability of our country. Same thing for the Netherlands or any other European nation. But in a small, poor country, say for like Venezuela, for example, Chavez comes to power, kind of fucked. Like, he will change if your business succeeds or fails. And as such, the Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, I say that, remember that for my own sake, serves as a guarantee in case that something that's unrelated to your actual business, that's systematically related, is the reason why you failed. And that just serves because, most entrepreneurs understand not every idea is going to succeed, not every idea will succeed. Sometimes it's bad business ideas or sometimes they just don't work. But it kind of is unfair, and there's no reason to invest in a country where you get fucked over by the government of the country or the instability of the country. Finally, we have the international courts for settling international disputes. Also a hard one for me to remember, but it essentially is a facility oriented around arbitrage between investors and third world or poor nations, governments. The reason for it is it's not necessarily just disputes. So the foreign government or the individual doesn't have to do anything wrong. Also, it can be for facilitating business in these countries. Because the ICID is kind of neutral and independent, their goal is really just to see both the government, the people, and the investors benefit. So they'll also work with the investors and the government to do what's needed to ensure that business can operate smoothly in their countries. And yeah, you can look in the summaries if you want to see how it's really made up, but I don't really feel like talking about it. So I hope you can pass the World Bank now.